Welcome to Sikbaggers YouTube channel. I'm Steve, and today we're going to be going over the basics of a Stage 1 upgrade on your Harley Davidson touring motorcycle. Now guys, I hear the Stage 1 get thrown around all the time, and there's a lot of questions and stuff on it, so I figured I would do a video on it since we're doing the upgrade on the Whiskey project back here. We're going to put a basic Stage 1 on this bike, but to kind of try to make you guys understand what a basic Stage 1 upgrade is, if you don't already, there's a lot of videos on YouTube channels that you can already watch that talk about the Stage 1 process. But if you think about these engines as kind of like a big air pump, you're going to pump air in, the engine is going to compress it, and then it's going to push that air out. So the more air that you can get in, the more air that we can get out, the better performance we're going to get out of these motors. So if you're going to be doing any type of motor work, you basically have to start with a Stage 1, because if you do the Stage 2, 3, and 4 stuff without doing the Stage 1, you're really constricting everything. You're not going to get the full performance out of the other motor upgrades that you're doing. So you want to start with a Stage 1. You want to start with the air cleaner, the headers, the exhaust, and then of course you're going to finalize that up with a tune. You want to remap the bike. I see in the forums quite a bit of talk about tuning, and I see in there a lot of guys saying, well, I just changed the air cleaner, do I really need to tune it? Or I just changed the pipes, do I really need to tune it? My answer to that is yes. And you're going to have a lot of arguments online about that, guys, but here's what's going on. Even if you just change the air cleaner, well, you just changed how much air is going into that motor. These bikes are mapped from Harley for the stuff that's on the bike. So if you've got this closed up air filter that comes on the Harley and you change that and you allow more air in, well, it needs a new map now, and that means tuning. If you change one or the other and you don't tune it, you're more than likely going to run a little bit too lean. It kind of behooves you to invest in a tuner. There's several different flavors of tuners out there, and everybody out there has their favorite one. Today we're just going to be installing the air cleaner. Now on this bike back here, we put Rush Racing Big Louie slip-ons on there. Then we have the Vance & Hines dresser duals that are on here. Now I did not do a video on the Vance & Hines dresser duals putting them on this bike, because just about 3 months ago, we did a video on the Vance & Hines. It went on a 2017 Milwaukee 8. It's a full walkthrough on changing your headers. So if you want to check out that video, I'll put the link down below. The second third of that is putting an open air cleaner in there. We want to make sure that we're getting more air into the motor. The one that comes on there, it's all boxy and boxed up and you get a little vent in the front, and that just really restricts the air going in. So no matter what flavor of air cleaner you get, just make sure it's an open style air cleaner. Pretty much every aftermarket air cleaner on the market is going to be an open air cleaner, and Harley has a ton of them available too. So check out all the different ones that are on the market, pick out the one that you want, and then get it installed on your bike. Now I'm a big fan of the Arlen Ness air cleaners. On the 2014 Street Glide that we did the 10 gauge inverted big sucker on that one, and I pretty much knew what I wanted to do on a Street Glide back here, but I wanted an all black one. Arlen Ness makes one that is completely black, not edge cut, contrast cut. I'm not a big fan of that stuff. I wanted it all black, and they had one, and it's this one. It's called the 10 spoke inverted big sucker. And I picked up this and a few other pieces over at getlowered.com. I'll put the links to this down in the description over to Get Lowered, and you can check it out. If you haven't already, check out getlowered.com, guys. I've been using those guys for like the last 4 years. And while you're over there at Get Lowered, check out the rest of the website, man. They have all kinds of stuff, not just parts, but they got riding gear too, helmets, all kinds of stuff. Got these cool banners on there too. When I went on there to order this stuff, I saw these new banners up on the front of the website. Had to have one. So make sure that you check them out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the camera over on the other side of the bike, and we're going to get this air cleaner installed. So of course, first we need to remove the breather cover that's on here. This is stock breather cover. Take out this big bolt in the middle here. And that's going to get us down to what we need to get to. So from here we want to get the air cleaner off, so we're going to remove this screw, and there's a third screw down here. So you've got an air cleaner like breather hose that goes from here to here back over to our Banjo bolts, and we just simply pull those off just like that. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. You just pull that little tab and pull it off the two Banjo bolts. So from here we need to take the Banjo bolts out right in here. It's a 7/16. If you get those loose, go ahead and pull those out, take your Banjo bolts out. So with this particular air cleaner, it tells us that we need to remove the throttle body backing plate. And what's going on with that is you've got this big plate, and it's pretty thick. It's on both of these Banjo bolt holes. And with the new air cleaner, going on. If you leave this on here, it's not going to fully seat on here. This acts kind of like a washer or a spacer. It's going to make the new air cleaner set out too far and it won't seal up. The only thing this thing really does is hold a couple of wires right here, but you've got 2 bolts, one here and one here, and of course they're really hard to get to. I mean, I'm not even sure you could get in there with an Allen wrench unless you wanted to just spend a half a day sitting here pulling out 2 bolts. So the best thing to do is remove your tank. It's very, very easy to remove your tank. I'll walk you through that very quickly. You've got a bolt up here in the front. As you can see, now I have Advan black tank cover on here, so it's a little bit different, but it's the same bolt. You're going to want to remove this bolt here. Right underneath your seat, you're going to have a bolt here and a bolt here. You remove those. It's very easy. That's going to loosen the entire tank from the bike. So you want to follow this line that comes out from underneath your dash. I don't have my dash on here right now because it's in paint, but this line is going to come over here to this gray clip. Once you locate this gray clip, push this clip in right here and simply unplug it. Then you have to come over here and deal with the fuel valve right here. You simply push up on this piece of silver and pull down on this hose and this disconnects. Just like that. You are going to lose a little bit of gas, so you might want to get a towel and have that ready to wipe that up. Once you have that done, you've got this overflow line that comes from underneath your dash once again down here to a tube that goes down to the bottom of your bike. Just disconnect like that. Now your tank is ready to be lifted off. So here's the backing plate we want to remove. Now that we got the tank off, you get the camera right down in there. There are the 2 bolts that we want to take out, and it's going to remove this plate. So now we can take our 3/16 and get in there and get that out. Now you can put these bolts back in case you ever want to put this back to stock. That's what I do, just run them back in. We don't need them. So from here, we want to make sure that the flange on the throttle body is clean, and also the bosses right here. Make sure that there's no gasket stuff or blue Loctite or anything down in there. Both of these look really good. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this free video. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want to check out the channel, we got 120 something bagger related videos. There's a ton. Check out the channel and make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. That's what keeps us coming out here into the shop and doing these videos for you. All of our videos are always free all the time. We don't ask for donations. We don't do Patreon. We don't do any secret squirrel Facebook things where you have to pay us money to join and all. Everything is free all the time on this channel. So make sure you check us out. Find us over on Instagram, find us over on Facebook. If you want to get a hold of some bagger swag, that's where you can find it over on Facebook. We do a pre-order about 5-6 times a year. Put your order in, you get t-shirts, hoodies, koozies, all that good stuff. But find us over there. But I'm gonna let you guys get back to the video. I just wanted to stop a second and let you guys know that I appreciate the hell out of every one of you guys. Back to it. So once you make sure that's clean, you want to take your backing plate. This backing plate, you can see, has a smooth edge like this and a flat edge on this side. Smooth edge, you're going to be able to see. That right there, once you install it, is going to direct the airflow coming around this breather right into the throttle body. So to get your O-rings to stay in place, just take a thin little bit of grease, put it on your fingers, rub it around the O-ring and set it in there. So I just get a little bit of red and tacky on my finger. I can take that just like that. Now I've got a little bit of grease on there. You set that right down in there, and now we can move this thing around and those O-rings will stay in place. You don't have to worry about it falling out. And then after that, you want to grab one of your wife's best towels out of the bathroom and clean up the grease on your fingers. I'm just kidding, guys. Do not do that unless you are a way braver man than me. I would use an old shop towel or a paper towel. So you're going to have 3 of these socket head screws. You're going to push this through, and I'm going to go ahead and apply a little blue Loctite to that. Doesn't matter what flavor, just make sure you have medium strength. From here, we can go ahead and take our gasket and set it on there, and that's going to make sure that that gasket stays in place while we put it onto the throttle body. I'll go ahead and put it up here. Remember, guys, make sure you're putting it on the right way. Go ahead and get that started. Get this one started, and that makes sure our gasket's lined up on there. We make sure we have everything in the right spot. You can take your 3rd and final screw at the bottom, little blue Loctite. And as remember too, guys, all of these breathers install a little bit differently, so just make sure that you follow the directions. Any reputable company that has a breather is going to give you some kind of directions with it. to let you know how they want that put together. So you just want to run these down a little bit. You want to leave them loose, guys. This plate should be loose because we still have to put our spacers and our banjo bolts in there, and you need room to move that out to get that in place. Remember, we put the O-rings in the spacer, so of course that is going to go up against the cylinder head. The back side of your backing plate had the O-ring in it, so that's how that's going to go. We've got our new banjo bolt. You can tell it's a banjo bolt. It's got a little breather hole right there. You can see the hole right down the center, a little hole right there. It says to coat the edge of this with just a little bit of grease. You really just want to make sure that this makes a good seal on that O-ring when you put it in. You don't want to make sure that that hole isn't full of grease. Just get a little small coat of grease on that ledge right there. Going to take our first spacer, put it in, O-ring to the cylinder head, just like that. Run your new banjo bolt in, and go ahead and make sure that that's going to start. Our second one, our second spacer, O-ring to the cylinder head, put it through, get that started. Finish running in your banjo bolts. Because the air cleaner is going to go right here, it would expose these banjo bolts. You know, have these banjo bolt cover plates. One side is going to be shiny and one side is going to be kind of ground up. So you know you want to put the shiny side there. So you want to take the shiny side, of course, and put up. You have your banjo bolts set in place. Now we're ready for the air cleaner. As you can see, this air cleaner has a lot of holes going around the outside here. It's going to line up with all of these holes on here. So basically you just want to take your air cleaner, make sure that Arlen Ness is up. You're going to have a center bolt and just start right there in the center. Now, as you can see, the breather itself is going to hold these banjo bolt cover plates in place. So you just want to go ahead and blue Loctite the rest of your bolts. Find the hole that it goes into. I don't torque any of them down until I get all of them in. And also, guys, this is how you take this off to clean this breather. It's another one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of the Arlen Ness air cleaner. This metal screen in here, unlike the K&N filters that you have to take out all the time, you have to clean, you have to buy the cleaning kit, clean the air filter, re-oil it, and put it back in. The Arlen Ness ones, these metal screens that are in these big suckers, they're reusable filters. So with these air filters, I just simply wash them out and I dry them out. I don't wash them out and put them right back on the bike and take off on a ride. That would kind of be a big no-no. You're going to be sucking water in there and you're not going to get all that water out. So do it the night before, or maybe a couple of days before you plan on riding, at least the night before, so you can really blow it out with an air hose and then really make sure that it's dry by letting it sit there overnight. If you've got that K&N air filter and it starts raining, you guys are going to have to put a sock on your breather to make sure this thing doesn't suck in a bunch of water while you're raining. This type of air filter absolutely doesn't need that. Just going to run these in kind of in a star pattern until I have them at least touching. After you have those tightened down, that's pretty much it. That's your install of your air cleaner. Like I said, we already have the Vance & Hines dresser duals on here, and we have the Rush Racing Big Louie 4-inch exhaust on the back. And of course, the final step now would be to tune it. All we have left to do from there, guys, is get our gas tank back on. You're gonna put that back on the same way you took it off. So like I said there in the video, guys, all of these different air cleaners, they all hook up different, they all do different things. So just make sure that you read the directions that come with your air cleaner and follow the torque specifications and stuff like that for your particular breather. That one there is pretty easy install. Probably not shooting a video, probably would have took me about 20 minutes to put that on. Remember, that is like just 1/3 of the stage one. Remember, we did the headers and stuff. That link will be down in the video on how to change your own headers, guys. They're pretty easy to do. Most of you guys should be able to do this with just a few simple tools. You're gonna put your headers on, your pipes on, change your breather, and then of course follow up with a tune. Guys, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get out of here. Remember, if you have any questions on this, comment box down below. Make sure you check us out on Instagram and Facebook. I'm gonna get out of here and get my butt back to work. Until the next video, as always, be safe, keep your knees in the breeze. Thanks for checking out the YouTube video, guys. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button over here. Over 100 bagger related videos on our YouTube channel. But to get you started, maybe you can check out this one or this one. Just one of them. Not really gonna say anything else, just click the button, man. They'll just